Hey, I'm Jim the GM, and today this is a game in one of Jeremy's Orina sagas in our third age. We're currently working on my account right now just because it's causing some troubles around. So Jeremy's going to start us off, and because he's feeling a little ill, I've got a little adventure for the guys today. Go ahead, Jeremy, take it away.
Hey guys, I'm Jeremy. Normally run under the channel Black Wizards. I have with me, of course, Jim. I've got Caleb, I've got Lewis, and I've got Matt. And Jim's going to be running. The other three are going to be playing, as am I. Um, so, everybody introduce yourselves. Caleb.
I'm Caleb. I am playing Moxon Blitzgrove. He is a large Vilsfine, a long way from home. But yeah, that's who I am and where I'm at.
I'm Jim. Normally I play Ears, our neighborhood-friendly rogue mastermind who is currently in the middle of learning two languages. But this week I will be taking the guys on a bit of an adventure.
Lewis.
Hey, I'm Lewis. I play Gavriel Hargrave, our eyes and ears, and our resident sniper. I've got a big crossbow.
Matt.
And I'll be playing Yosef, our resident noble, with a little bit of divine talent, unexplained, and a habit of getting into a little bit too much trouble for someone with such a royal bloodline.
All right. So, when we last left, the characters had just returned to Southgate from Quiet Deep. They've taken themselves a little bit of time to recuperate and handle some things in the week. So let's start with Caleb. What have you been doing the past week, just around town?
So Moxon, once he got back to town and he got back to the late husband, he would have gone and checked on his stuff, make sure everything was okay, and then figuring that they were going to stay a little bit longer, he actually would have bought another week to at least rented out a room for another week. Then he would have headed towards what he would have tried to make out as maybe a collection of shops, artisans area, something like that. But in any event, he would have gone out and attempted to see if he could get in, either with a local carpenter, if there is somebody in the area who works in the fineries of wood carving, he would have attempted to look for someone along those lines. But yeah, he would have tried to get in with an existing carpenter, and if there is a void, then he would have attempted to take that in Southgate.
Southgate being a large town, pretty much a city, there would be somebody. Tell me about that person.
So the guy is human. He's a smaller guy, a little gruff, portly. He rocks the skullet. If you can picture Benjamin Franklin in your head, that is similar to what he looks like. He does wear a big apron almost all the time. His name is Raj, R-A-J. And Raj tends to be a little tougher than the man that he was working with when he was in Azidi's Rest. Raj Woodworks is the name of the location he owns.
So are you just basically working for him for a week, or?
Yeah, so I would probably have brought my collective wood carving gear with me, as well as a couple examples of my work, so that I could say, hey, this is what I'm capable of. Do you think that you could find a place for me in your shop, whether that's, you as the carpenter make the bench, I as the wood carver come over and finish it, so that it might add a little bit of value, or perhaps just that's kind of what I was doing. I'm the guy that puts all the fine details in before the product goes out.
All right. Well, nice. So yeah. So you've got a contact with Raj of Raj Woodworks, and basically you're going to be able to cover your expenses for the week with that, but you're kind of earning a bit of a reputation through that. Give me let's see, what kind of check would that be?
Proficiency with the tools plus whatever ability modifier to use them.
That'd be dexterity? Huh. Man.
Let's see. So a dex check with proficiency, is that right?
Yeah. That's the most likely thing to me anyway, unless I haven't really done any woodworking checks that I can recall. So what'd you get?
You cut out for me there. Was it just proficiency in dex plus my dice roll?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So that would give me a 13.
Okay. Yeah. You're doing pretty well. Everything looks good, and you're gaining a little bit of a reputation. It's only a week, so it's not like the king's seen your work, but doing a good job.
Sure.
Jim, what have you been doing? What has Ears been doing?
Ears has been spending a lot of time trying to find proper criminal connections within the town, finding somebody that is not so worried about buying and selling on the black market, trying to case the town for what their patrols are like, going through the town, checking out the more upper crust of what's going on, spending some time at the docks, and has really been practicing a lot on listening to people talk and mimicking those sounds. Also, I'm spending time learning languages. So I'm not trying to buy or sell anything.
All right. Give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Do you have proficiency in that?
Absolutely.
Okay. I figured you did.
19.
All right. That'll work. So you've made a couple of contacts in the past week. One of them is named Kerdon Gar, and there's a second one. Tell me about the second one. Kerdon Gar is a Banakil.
Oh, okay. The other one is, excuse me. The other one is an orc. His name is Gugurush, and Gugurush is very very dim, very much it's because of people like Google Rush that there is the stereotype that orcs are all muscle with no brain. Uh, in fact, his language is very broken as he speaks. He has he has his head. It looks as though he tries to cut his own hair with scissors and no mirror, rather than dragging a blade across it to keep it short. He looks as though his armor is from pieces of what else he could find, and to the point that he might look like he has a sleeve that might have been once a part of heavy armor, and then a chainmail leg with the leather for another leg. He carries around with him 2 small daggers that seem undersized for him, and and when he is from my time with him, I found that he has spent quite some time at sea.
All right. I typed that in my notes as quite some time at tea. So he's a classic work. All right. Lewis, what has Gavril been doing?
Gav has tried to find some interim work at the docks as a dockhand, fixing rigging, playing ships, general work, and in his spare time, he is trying to construct a new attachment for his crossbow that he has thought up that I
All right.
asked you about.
So your dock work, that's going to cover your expenses for the week. For the attachment, give me an intelligence check.
Check my intelligence. All right, that is 15.
Okay. How much time are you spending on it per day, would you say?
Any spare time he has when he's not sleeping, but when he is eating, he's also working.
All right. You're making progress.
All right.
You haven't seemed to have gotten it down just yet.
There's just this tube in his backpack now then.
And Matt.
All right. Probably the first night back, upon some serious rest and recovery, Yosef would have had a dream where he was lying injured at the feet of this 100-foot tall Leviathan. Its gaping maw starting to open, and the sound of this is like an earthquake. And these noises, these words start to come into his mind and rack his brain over and over again. Words in a language that he doesn't understand. And they over and over again, his mind is smashed with these words. Uda de Kader, Hula de Wali Yosef. And they echo and vibrate through his cranium. Almost a existential pain shaking him to the bone, and he wakes up in a cold sweat. And he'd be doing 2 things in his off time once he was healthy enough to be able. Well, actually 3 things rather, if he would have time. The first is he would be approaching a stable here to pay for temporary stabling of Roach, the horse, as he's realized that the horse has become something of a nuisance in more difficult terrestrial lands. So I don't know how much that would run him, but he would approach a stable and use that.
Let's say about a silver a day.
A silver a day. So he's gone for a week, right? Like-
Yeah, you guys have, I mean, presumably been in town if Yosef has gone somewhere else. That's his thing.
I'm going to put away I'm going to pay for basically 20 days worth of stabling, whether we're using it or not, and the account will be open. So 2 gold. As I throw in an extra 2 silver for the stableman's effort, and and request that he kind of shows me around a little bit, that he tells me where the things are in the city. And he's an old, crockety, dwarven man. You'd swear he was a half dwarf, as he looks taller and deformed, certainly old. And he helps Yosef go to his next destination in this place, which would be anywhere that they're playing Kingdom Come, Orina, Aothin, parallel universe card game that exists here. And it's one that Yosef is quite a master of. And when he was spending his time in the Hook, he used this to gather coin. So he's going to be gambling with Kingdom Come, the card game.
All right. Yeah. I'm sure you can find someone playing cards somewhere here in town.
And do you want a name for that stable? Well,
yeah, go for it.
Okay, so so I just typed it into chat, and would I just roll once I found like a seedy part of the area where people were throwing dice and playing cards, would I just roll my games cards proficiency plus a modifier? So I'm proficient in cards.
Yeah. That's weird. Shows more obvious what you do with those.
Well, whatever you think would be relevant, whether it's charisma, intelligence, I think would be fine.
Let's see. I guess, do you have deception? Might not there.
I have a +1 in deception, so.
Okay. Go with that.
Okay. So, yeah. I mean, it would depend how you're playing the game, but in this case, Yosef would definitely be bluffing, acting like a greenhorn, naive noble, and he might end up being just that after his roll. We'll see. Okay, so 20 plus proficiency, which is 2, plus 1, so +3 total. All right, 14 plus 3, so 17 is his roll.
All right. You're doing pretty well there. Let's see. Roll another d20.
Okay. 9 on the second, with no modifier added.
All right. You're actually going to basically cover your expenses for the week, and you're going to make 9 gold there.
Nice. Okay, so yeah. He'll kind of walk away with his arms up, saying, "It was a fluke, I swear." And they're like, "Ah, yeah, right, get out of here." And the goblins will be like kind of dancing around Yosef, saying, "Prince of the Green Court, Prince of the Green Court, master of all things, including cards and things." And yeah, they'll just be being ridiculous and causing a ruckus as they get kicked out of this seedy bar or whatever this place is. And the last thing he's going to do is he'll be seeking a language specialists in this area, and might even cross paths with ears as he hopes to kind of secretly he leaves the goblins back at the inn or stable, whichever they prefer. Probably the stable, to be honest. And he seeks out this master of language and literature, and he goes to him to read some of the words that he experienced in this dream, and specifically just meta. It was definitely an old dialect of Aquan.
Nice. All right.
So he'd be trying to interpret these things, but it would probably be a paid service, I imagine, and one that wouldn't happen overnight. So it's probably not going to happen while they're in their office.
Right. Yeah. He'll charge you. I'll figure that out later.
Okay, cool. And maybe I'll cross paths with ears, perhaps, and in doing so, we'll find out that he's picking up the language of the area, and I would spend some time improving his goblin whenever I can, as I speak it fluently.
All right. All right. Is that everything for Yosef?
Yeah.
All right. Jim, you want to take it over?
Absolutely. So, at the end of the first week, having come back from all of our work and from recuperating and from our out of town adventure, you find yourselves sitting around the table in our common room at the late husband. Ears is sitting there eating with the rest of you, looking over a book. Finally, he shuts the book, leans back, kicks his feet up on the table. Where are the rest of you in this room? Let's start with Matt.
So what are sort of
We're in our common room at the late husband.
okay, at the late husband. I would say that Yosef would be reading in a corner for sure, kind of like aloof.
All right, Yosef. Gav, excuse me. You are Yosef.
Gav is sequestered away a corner of the room with a low table. His armor is folded on the chair next to him, and he's working in just his undershirt and pants, and he's tinkering with what appears to be a metal tube and some springs and his crossbow.
All right, Moxon.
Moxon is probably not, I mean, he's probably close to the table, but he seems occupied with just, it's basically a table leg. He's finishing out some fine details for it. He's present.
Awesome. So when Ears slams his book closed loudly, leans back, kicks his feet up on the table, reaches back up, grabs his bowl, and begins to continue eating his soup. Hey, guys. Want to hear something interesting? No? That's all right. You can keep doing. I'll just talk. So, while I've been out, I've caught you guys, doing some stuff. Good job. Keep up the good work. All for the team, right? That's right. All for the crew. But I've been looking for some more interesting work for us. If we're going to be here and we're going to be waiting for Orion to show back up, then we might as well, do something worth our time. Maybe some practice together, especially after the way things went back at anyway, the way things were. We really need to work on our skills as a team together. So I found a job for us, if we're interested. Yeah?
Like, Yosef will start to inch his eyes over the book that he was reading and say, I'm in.
You're always in. I love it. I don't even have to explain the job. Moxon? Gav?
Gav finishes eating a biscuit that he's held in his mouth. Well, you're the boss usually. Where are we going? What we doing?
Well, here's the deal. So I met this guy, all right? He's not the brightest guy. In fact, just between all of us, he's pretty dense, pretty stupid. Spends most of his time on a ship, brings in cargo, has actually connected me with some of the guys who work on the docks and the warehouses. But he's been mentioning how there's word going around that some of the materials and the stock and the wares has started going missing. Yeah? And I'm telling you, it ain't rats. If there was rats, there'd be crap all over the place. But it's not rats. There's no sign of break-in. There's no sign of foul play. Well,
Sounds like an inside job.
that's what I thought too. But he pointed me to another guy. So this guy, his name's he's a Banakil. His name's Kurdan. I've only gotten to talk to him a couple of times, but so far he seems like he's pretty much on the level. Little squirrely kind of dude, but still, seems pretty on the level. He said that he'd help us out. Well, technically, I talked him into it. But the trick is, I've got to stay here. Kind of got into a little bit of trouble, and I need to lay low for probably the next couple of days, which is okay, which is fine. It happens. It's just part of the job, but it gives me an opportunity to brush up on my languages. So you'll be having to do this one without me. Think you can handle that?
Yosef will look around, and the young man will kind of look to the hulking Vilsfine, and then back to Gav, and then back to Ears, and say, so then, who's the boss?
I'll let you decide that. It'd be good team building. But don't worry about it. You don't have to make the decision now because, well, honestly, you're not supposed to meet Kurdan until the morning. He said he'll meet us downstairs soon after sunrise. Show us around. Take us down to the docks. He mentioned something about checking out a ship called, what was it? The Zephyr Kelly. Yes, that was it. He said he was going to show us the Zephyr Kelly. I hope you can handle it. I mean, Lord knows I wouldn't be any help if a fight showed up.
Yosef's to his feet now. His kind of dusting off his cloak, and he walks over and says, leans down at the eating ears and puts his hand on his shoulder and just says, thank you for finding the job, friend. I think we can handle it. And he looks to the others. Of course, as far as who's going to lead us, I'm going to say not it. And he smiles a wry smile and looks at the bigger one of the two, just out of kind of the natural order. But he knows that Gav is a sharp one, and that's who he's probably going to rely on. And he'll smile wide and grab his shield, which has been leaning against the wall, and he'll wrap it around his left arm.
So if
What time of the day is it?
this is our evening meal, the one that we get for free each day.
So we're running this job at night, ears?
Only
He's
if you
meeting
want
us
to do
in
it
the
without Kurdan. Kurdan will meet you in the morning downstairs.
Oh, my bad.
No problem. It's no problem. I understand. I'm kind of just dropping this on you guys, and honestly, what I've seen you doing is things that you're very good at. Very good at. All three of you. But admittedly, something that we're not good at is working together. And unfortunately, I have to lay low. So maybe this will be a good opportunity for the three of you to get to know each other a little bit better in a more combative setting. But here's hoping that not too much combat. I mean, seriously, don't pick fights with guards. That's just stupid.
Speaking of which, how on the up and up is this job, ears? We don't want to be making enemies of the law. This is the only city for a while around.
Oh, as far as I'm concerned, this is no crime. You may have to do some criminal things to solve, but it's not a crime to do any investigating. Mind you, Gugarush is very he's dim and he's not quite in charge. But he has mentioned this to me, expressing that they were looking for some help to maybe figure out what's going on, especially before tomorrow evening, because they have to set back out. And at least to be able, if they weren't able to have the cargo, to at least have it accounted for. He did not mention what the cargo was, just that they needed to make sure that whether they left with it or had it accounted for, that was taken care of.
All right.
Moxon, is that going to be okay with you?
Sure.
Wonderful. Kicks back again, goes back to eating. I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
Can you pass me those tweezers ears?
Leans back forward, grabs the tweezers, and he tosses them to you, and it goes kind of far right because of his terrible tossing.
Ow. See, this is why you pass them. What do we know about the Kurdan, you said his name was?
Yeah. He's a Bonakil. Actually, it was almost like I knew the man. We seem to share a connection. But, well, whatever you do, only trust him as far as you can throw him. I do have a feeling that he's a part of the business.
All right.
And we fade to black. Everyone rests comfortably unless they have more bad dreams, Matt. And then in the morning, you are able to get everything that you need, gear up however you so choose. How are you gearing up for this stroll through the town over to the docks, guys?
Moxon would look probably the same way that he did when he was heading out to the Quiet Deep. He's got his armor on, he's got his maul on his back, but his hands are open currently.
Cool.
Gav is wearing his hand-sewn armor, and he's got his crossbow slung over his back. I feel like people have probably seen us walk around town before in full armament, going to and from Orion. They know that we've worked for people before, even if it's not our day job.
All right. And right now, Matt's a little bit on autopilot, and when he gets back, he'll be able to talk more. But as you come downstairs, there is a man that is currently speaking to Sidurgu in the middle of the conversation. How's that conversation going, Jeremy?
The man, as you see him, he definitely looks less cultured than Sidurgu. He's got these heavy furs. He's got these. His hair is dreadlocked brown, and there's just like what looks like purple braids in there, mix of colors. His face is painted. He's actually on his back. He has a shidraga. I'll actually screen share that with you. It's a Bonakil instrument, if you can see that. And he's standing, talking to Sidurgu. In front of him is this metal ball, and he actually seems quite delighted. He is complimenting the authenticity of the food here. And he immediately looks as he hears anyone coming downstairs. There's a bit of a suspicion in his eyes as he sees anyone coming. And then he turns back to Sidurgu, unless he sees ears coming down.
Sidurgu, this man giving you any trouble?
I could hear him.
I can't.
I can't either.
I'm not. I
Second.
wasn't talking now.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, there you go.
But did you hear the description or?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure
Hey,
of that.
Gav just addressed Sadirgu, our
Yeah.
host, our innkeeper friend. This guy giving you any trouble?
Not really. He, this ball is interesting. But what he has to say, really. Gentlemen, this is, what did you say your name was, sir?
Kodan Gar.
Ah, this is Kodan Gar. And, the food here is pretty good, he says. Where did you say you were from again?
Well, I came from the old kingdoms, but I am from Southgate now.
Ah. All right. Well, are you looking for a room, or would the meal suit you, sir?
I am looking for ears.
For ears?
Yes.
Gentlemen, is ears with you? And you watch as Sidirgu is looking past you, trying to see if ears is maybe coming down behind you.
Yosef would just say, we are Ears' crew. Ears is indisposed right now. You'll have to deal with us.
Why is he not here? He set this up.
Circumstances outside of his or our control. I believe he calls us his crew normally. We are his crew. I'm Gavriel. This is Yosef, and this is Moxon. We work with Ears and say it looks like we're going to be working with you.
And Yosef will kind of just like sheepishly walk towards the man, smiling as he puts an arm around his shoulder, whether that's welcome or not, and says, "That'll just have to do, eh?"
He's going to push that hand off his shoulders.
Ah,
That will work.
crowd.
What?
And yeah, he's just gonna say, so yeah, he's gonna lean down while he's putting his arm around his shoulder and getting pushed off by this Benakil. He looks down at the little man and just says, "Listen, he trusts us. If you know Ears, you know that he rolls with crews. We're his crew, and he asked us to come here and meet you now. So we're what you got. So what do you got for us? What do you got for Ears?"
I've got the ability to get things done. No, perhaps we should go somewhere more discreet.
Moxon would invite this man upstairs to their private room.
Very well. And if Moxon...
And wouldn't you make it up to...
Oh.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, if Moxon starts going up there, he will follow.
All right. As you, when you get back to the room, you find Ears asleep on the couch with the book over his face, just like you left him when you came downstairs. And you hear him sawing logs. when you all get into the room and you shut the door shutting wakes up, and you hear him like literally quickly conjugating verbs as quickly as he can in Orcish.
Yeah,
Is
you're
it
off on the
already?
plural. You're off on the plural. The plural second person.
Why are you already back? Is the job done?
No,
didn't get
he wanted
caught.
to see. He wanted to see you and talk in private.
Sitting up, looking over the back of the couch. Oh, Gordon. Ha! Good to see you.
Good to
Sorry that
see
you have to see me like this.
It's okay. I'm not concerned about your appearance. You all look strange.
Well, anyway. So what do you need to talk about?
I merely asked for a discreet location to talk, as they felt the need to discuss it in a tavern.
Does this location not suit you?
Well, this location is fine. Downstairs among the people is not.
I agree. All right, so what do you got
Honestly,
for
the
me?
late husband's become somewhat of a second home for us in the past weeks.
It's wonderful.
Okay.
Sure.
So, well, you're not gonna go. Sorry.
What have you told them?
I told them that Gogrush sent me your direction about the issues with the Zephyr Kelly, about how things have been taken from the warehouses down by the docks.
Right. Right.
I told them how Gugarush vouched for you and how it could be taken care of. Well, that he needed it taken care of, more specifically.
Okay. If they know everything they need to know, they should have said that, and we could go.
Oh, was that all to it? We were under the impression there was more to it than that.
Well, I guess if you have questions, you could try finding Gugarush.
Have you ever asked Google Rush a question?
Yes.
Did he answer? He's not a smart man. Don't like to ask him too many questions.
In a roundabout way, he answered.
Oh. I figured he would pass out. It's a lot of pressure for an orc.
He's trying, and you can at least give him that.
Well, I'm not too concerned with speaking with this Goo guy. But we can definitely head on down if you know where we're going.
Very well. Follow me. It's good to see you again, Nearest.
Maybe I'll get a chance to work with you once this issue passes.
Perhaps.
And he will be able to. Go ahead. He will be able to lead you through town through whichever way he chooses, since this is his new home. Ultimately, getting you to the docks. The docks are a thriving area. There are very large ships all over. Just from standing where you are. Just from standing where you are, you count at least 11 ships all docked up to large piers, and men loading and unloading. Further down the way, you're finding that some of the ships are actually passenger ships. And about 5 ships down, you come to a ship with on the side. It looks as though a cloud phantom is blowing hard, and out of his mouth the wind rolls out, and it says Kelly. This entire dock area is moving with people, people that are traveling, people that are loading and unloading, foremen, people who are fixing and cleaning barnacles off of ships. It is bustling.
That's our ship over there.
And Yosef will be kind of shouldering his way through people politely, but just kind of using his shield as a leverage to get through the crowd.
Awesome. Perfect. Gav, while Yosef is doing that, pushing his way through, and just literally everybody is pushed up right against him, very quickly you catch this person try to take something from Yosef and fail, missing completely as Yosef misses it, moves past you, and ends up taking the coin purse off of Moxon.
I'd like to grab their arm. If
You're unable to.
Could I move towards them?
You watch, the rest of you watch as Yosef falls out of line and begins going in the opposite direction with the crowd.
Gavriel, right?
Yes, sorry. You watch as I'm looking at a marching order, and that's not what that is. Yeah, Gav steps out of line and begins to go with the flow of traffic the other direction. And traffic is still moving. What?
I'll be looking back to see that like everyone's following me every few paces, you know, just like push, look back over my shoulder, this way kind of thing. And on one of those glances back, I do notice that Gav has broken up, and I'll do a signal to Moxon, pointing at my eyes and then pointing at Gav.
Initially, Moxon looks at you weird, not understanding it, and then as you simplify it further.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'll do it like 2 or 3 times.
And then finally being like, look, like, come on. And so Moxon cranks his neck from left to right, and he just... So Moxon's a fairly big kid, I think. Yeah, he's not that big. But I would be kind of looking as well as I can over the tops of people, maybe trying to see if a crowd of people is walking one way and 2 people are walking a different direction, that tends to be easy to recognize because they're walking, it's breaking up the pattern. Can I see what Gav is walking towards?
You can make an attempt to, but this is not like a road where everybody stays on the right. They're all taking their own ways, their own pathways through the crowds. Ultimately, the whole crowd is weaving in and out of itself.
Cool. What is this, perception?
Yeah, it's a perception roll.
Cool. So My passive is actually higher, so I would guess that either I don't see it or whatever. So 13 would be my score.
You are not able to pick out what Gav is going after, but you are able to follow Gav.
Okay.
Cordan?
All right. So I probably can't even see Yosef because I'm short, but if I wasn't far from Gav, I would probably be able to see him and kind of use my size to my advantage to kind of try to keep up with him. I can't go as fast as him, but I can basically move through people that are larger than me, just twisting through legs and dodging as I'm 37 pounds of...
Sheer terror.
Yes, 37 pounds of getting to where I need to go. And
Gav,
if
you are in
can't,
the
I
lead
can
right now.
mage hand them.
What are you doing, Gav?
Also, I'll be using Moxon as like a sort of beacon to follow last.
All right.
All right, this is going to be a weird use of cunning action. Could I use the disengage action to like move more effectively through the crowd? Is that something I can do?
It would not help you because the crowd is causing it more to be like difficult terrain
All
rather
right.
than people trying to attack
In that
you.
case, I'm going to double move and just like try and pick up my pace through the crowd towards this guy, inching ever closer until I'm close enough to strike.
All right. Are the rest of you just following that?
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep up.
Okay.
As soon as Cardone kind of turns off, I would look to Yosef and I would point at my eyes, and then he would kind of he would stall for a moment because he's confused. Because for a brief moment, he's actually lost the ban and kill, and then he finds him real quick, and then he points and completely blows the secretive nature of the gesture. Instead of being like real subtle with it, he points at his eyes, and then he just starts like flagging him down, Cordon, like here he is, kind of motion.
Okay, so Yosef would make his way towards Cordo, but he'd be squinting through the crowds, trying to keep a beat on Gav, trying not to lose him, and trying to make sure he's out of trouble.
All right.
Hold on, real quick. You said Gav is readying to strike.
No, Gav said he was double moving.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like
Dashing.
Okay, never mind then.
Gav, you feel like you're getting a lot closer. In fact, a lot of the traffic as it's moving, you can tell that it's trying to move to the edge. The edge ends up bringing you to a warehouse and to a simple door that right as you come up to, as you're getting closer to it, you watch it open. You see a figure look back at you, duck into it, and the door closes.
I wasn't able to catch up to him before he got in.
No, you got very close.
All right.
But we're not able to catch up to him.
I saw his face, right?
Absolutely.
Did I recognize him at all?
No, you did not.
Could I pick him out of a crowd now that I've seen his face?
Potentially.
All right. I'm going to wait briefly by this door for my compatriots to at least get within eyesight of me. Make sure they all know what's going on.
Yeah, Yosef would catch up, but he'd be making sure to stay close to the Banakil, not to lose their contacting guys.
You're able to, in the throng, it is kind of difficult to get a good glimpse of somebody, but when they get within about 30 feet of you, you get a good look of Moxon. And by finding Moxon, then you see Yosef beside him.
They swipe Moxon's purse in the crowd.
Moxon immediately starts kind of checking himself, and this look of just horror kind of comes over his face. And
Don't worry.
This is the only time that he's ever actually looked like something is scaring him.
Gav's going to snap in front of Moxon's face, bring him back to reality. Okay, we know where they are. I know who took it.
Where are they?
In that door. We're going to approach.
Moxon walks over to the door.
Wait. Moxon, no.
You watch Moxon struggle with the door like he's trying to push open a pull door.
Have I made
I'd
it
like
over
to go
there?
check the door.
Absolutely. If everybody's over there, you're over there with them.
What happened?
Thief took all of his wealth in the world.
Well,
We're going to undo that.
he stands out, and he's got a bit of a reputation. So,
Could I check the door for traps?
a mark. That's all.
Sure you can. Go right ahead. The crowd is continuing to move by you, only giving enough space so that they don't bump you.
What kind of check would this be?
Check for traps. Perception.
Perception. Awesome.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's perception.
All right. That is 14.
Okay, the door appears to have the hinges on the inside, and from what you can tell, this door is solid hardwood with a single. It is not a knob or a handle that turns. It is a immovable handle that is used to push and pull.
Is it locked?
Absolutely.
Is there
you
any?
got that from when Moxon tried to open it.
Is there any keyhole on this side, or is it only unlockable from the inside?
There is no keyhole on this side.
Moxon, Kurdan, correct?
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys want to go about this?
I'd like to get my money back.
How high is the building?
How high? The building is 20 feet high.
All right.
Before it, 20 feet at the base of the roof.
Can I see any skylights on the roof?
Right below the overhang of the roof, it almost seems as though there are long windows spaced very closely together across the edges.
All right. Banakil, Kurdan, hop on my back.
Did the man see that you saw him?
Probably.
He's long gone. We should carry out our business.
Hop on my back.
Why?
Because we're going to get up there. And I point at the roof.
To find an empty building?
Yeah, we won't know if it's empty unless we go in.
You think that man went in there, knowing that you knew where he was, if there isn't a way for him to get out of there?
If he has friends inside, yes. We're wasting time.
No,
If you don't want the vantage point. All right, I start climbing the wall. I have 30-foot climb speed.
Okay, but there's nothing to climb the wall with.
All right. Is it just like a sheer? Is it brick or?
It's wooden. And not overlapping slats. You can attempt to climb, but
I'd
it'll
like
be
to
very
attempt to
difficult.
climb.
It's not like bricks where you can have something to grab and move on. This is solid wood.
I see you struggling. Well, actually, try to climb first.
I might have a grappling hook. I don't have a grappling hook. Never mind.
Between this building and the next building, there's about 20 feet, and the building behind you goes about halfway up and is stone.
Is there a lock on this door?
Not from this side.
Okay.
That was the first thing. All right. Can I climb up the stone building and then use that as a starting point to jump onto and climb up this building?
Are you capable of making a standing 20-foot jump?
Standing? No. Running? Yes. I have long jumps from the athlete feet.
So then you're going to climb up to the top of the roof?
Feet. I only need 5 feet to jump, to make that long jump.
Right, but it's not 5 foot of climbing.
Oh, I can't stand on the stone building?
Are you going to go all the way up to the top?
Of the stone building?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's stone halfway
I might
up
not understand the situation.
and then wood before you get to the roof.
Okay, then. Is that one building or is that two separate buildings you just
It's one
described?
building.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. I'm not going to climb this building. This is a bad idea. This is how Gav breaks his neck.
One character down.
I mean, I've got javelins in a row. He thinks beyond the fourth wall as they continue.
Can I knock on the door?
Gav, as you're knocking on the door, just searching around for some way into this building, you see on the far end of this warehouse that there are people carrying things to the other end of the building, of the warehouse. So, like, if to give an example, this is just rows of warehouses. This warehouse, where you are, the door is very near the first edge that you came up on. Going around the other corner of the building, you catch a glimpse of people as the mob just opens up just enough for you to see there are people carrying things past the edge of the building.
Gav mutters, "Damn it, he was right," under his breath and starts running for the other edge.
Gav, as you turn the corner, you find that there is more space between this warehouse and the next, and there is a large 15-foot tall, 15-foot wide, like bay door, like barn style, with the doors having swung open on the outside.
Do I see the individual that I saw earlier?
If you'd like to look for him.
Perception. All right, that's another 14.
All right, that's going to be a no. You do not see him. What you do see inside is a large warehouse where back in a far corner, it looks as though taking up about 10 by 15, shoved in the back corner, is a small office. Boxes are stored and crates are stored all over the place. There are cages full of chickens. There are crates with their lids half open that straw is just pouring out of, and looks as though it's lining the walls. There's light pouring in from the windows, and you can even see how on the inside a lot of the support beams are actually encased in stone with sconces so that they can have a little bit of torchlight on the inside.
How old was the person I saw that took Moxon's?
Your guess was anywhere between 20 and 30.
Damn it.
What are the rest of you doing?
I will go around the edge of the building and just Cordon just has this very "I told you so" look on his face.
And Yosef would be kind of keeping with Cardon. He's javelin kind of just drawn and at the ready.
Put that away.
And he looks at him and says, "Why?"
You're standing in the streets with a weapon.
And then he thinks on this a moment. And his 10 intelligence score just kind of processes this.
And you even catch people in this throng, especially the workers, giving you odd glances as they move on.
I'll twirl the javelin around, feigning performance, and put it back in its quiver.
Make a deception roll for me.
Sure.
While he's doing that, are there any guards around that Moxon can see?
Go ahead and make a perception roll.
17 for deception.
You watch as some of the people who are eyeing you oddly give a quick, huh, and begin to pay less attention to you.
I have a 12 on perception.
All right. For guards, you will find that there are two men that are standing inside. One does seem to be armed with a very heavy piece of wood, holding on to it, almost like he's standing there with like it's a cane, but it's obviously not used for support or for stature. It's a club of sorts. Behind you, you noticed as you moved through the crowd that there were some men that were watching, guarding, especially the closer that you got to the boats.
So I've spent some time in this town. Is there a difference between guards that might be paid for, general protection?
Absolutely. Most of the people who are guarding the boats are members of that boat crew, whereas in here, they're not big on killing people along the docks. Instead, they're more interested in letting them live to go spread the word for whoever they might work for, or to let anybody else know that this is what happens to you. We'll let you live, and it won't be the best life.
So I would specifically be looking for a locally supported and paid for guard of Southgate, not somebody who works for the boating company.
Okay, you did not find any.
So all of the guards at the dock all work for the boating company. There are no Southgate guards there.
Not that you have seen. You didn't in the you might have watched one or two passing down as you were going, but they are not. They're more like coppers doing a patrol rather than standing guard.
Okay. Well, then, last question. We're going to to somebody else. Is there any chance that I would be able to track by smell?
You sure can try.
Since it is my stuff.
Tell me how you're doing it.
I'm attempting to. So I've had the sack the longest, so that would be the thing that I would be attempting to. Actually, you know what? Who sold all the gear? Was Ears involved in that?
Most definitely.
Okay, then I would be attempting to recognize Ears' natural scent, because he would have handed me the gold, and he would have dealt with that stuff. that's obviously pretty specific and likely hard to do. But that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Roll with advantage.
Okay, I don't need to. I got a 20.
What's your total?
It's perception. I have advantage on smell anyway, which is why I wanted to do that. 23.
Cool. You get the bright idea as you start sniffing around. You walk right over to the other side of that door and immediately catch on. And the rest of you watch as his head turns and immediately begins following around to what looks like a large stack of crates. You see on the stack of crates, or you see that there are scuff marks, and the smell that was obviously ears is severely mixed now the closer that you get to the crates with another smell. As you begin to sniff your way around what's going on, it smells like this. It smells like the trail is going straight up the crates.
I would. Are the others following me? Anybody?
Yeah, I would follow at a distance, not wanting to get in your way, but wanting to make sure that he's got an eye on you.
Because the rest of you probably all smell a little bit like ears then too.
I'll stay close.
So his snout essentially would start at the bottom box and start working his way up. When I look up, do I see anybody in the rafters, a way to get onto the roof, another room?
What you see here is that it really looks like a very large stack of crates, almost that they're stacked 4 high, reaching 20 feet up to the top where the cross beams are, not all the way up to the ceiling or to the roof, since the ceiling and the roof are the same in this warehouse.
So are there a bunch of people around, or are we in kind of a vacant building?
You are. There are the 2 gentlemen that are further on the other side of the building who are talking to each other. One has his back to you, but the one holding the club is facing your direction.
So I would look to the little Bannakill friend, since he's the closest one nearby, and he's like, "Hey, you think you might be able to climb up this step?"
Not much of a climber. Well, I guess I can.
Yeah, just pop your head up there, and I would help him climb. So
it's 20 feet, so you're not going to be able to help him for long.
That's fine. Can I attempt to nudge the second row of boxes on where I want him to climb to essentially create a step?
Sure. Go ahead and make a strength roll for me. Or strength.
How does a 14 sound?
You're able to push the boxes back a couple of inches, but not enough to make a full-on landing.
Sure, just creating footing is all I'm attempting to do.
Seeing that, this will absolutely help him. That there's not going to cost anything to make that first 5 feet. And there are protruding the way that the boxes are put together. They're not just vertical slats. That's the initial inside of the box. On the outside of the box, there are diagonal slats. They are it's lined. These are well fortified crates, and you would be able to use those to help you climb.
And so as I said, all right, up you go. I'll be here to catch you if you fall. And I would stand there with my arms like I was going to catch someone who's fallen. Just
the rest of you who are watching this go on realize that let's see, hold on. Okay. They begin to climb up. You notice the 2 men Further down the other end of the warehouse, the guy with his back to you pats the other dude on the shoulder, points behind him. The guy at the club looks behind him, nods, puts it over his shoulder, and they both actually begin walking away from this area. Can I get an athletics check from you?
No.
Jeremy?
Yeah.
Gav, you see them climbing and them working pretty hard to do it.
I got 3.
You make it all the way up that first 5 feet for free, and as you try to climb, you slip and you fall back down to 5 feet, landing on the floor. No damage, just hurting your pride.
Can I not catch him? Since
Sure.
I was waiting to catch him? I would hold him for a moment. I would be like, all right. And just kind of smile and then put him on his feet. And then he would just take a long look at the boxes and sigh.
Not much of a climber, I'm afraid. I tried to tell you this.
Yeah, I'm not much of a climber either, and with my luck, I'll fall and die.
So if nobody else steps up to climb, Moxon would.
Okay. Athletics check.
18.
All right, you'll be able to make it halfway up. Get another one, you can make it the rest of the way.
All right. How does a 16 sound?
Enough. You make it to the top. You guys literally watch as this boar man is hoofing it up the sides of these crates. Gets to the top.
Once I get to the top, I would take a step off of the crates that I pushed, and I would step onto the ones that are actually stacked correctly, and then I would look around.
All right. Getting to the top, you notice immediately that this is not a full section of stacked crates. There are 8 stacks of crates, and except where the 9th stack would be in the middle, it is completely empty all the way to the floor. In the little bit of the light that is in this room, or that is coming in the light that's coming into the room, you are able to get down at the bottom. There seems to be a door in the floor.
Gotcha. Does the scent seem to pass through this place and to
Yes.
that vacancy about this?
It does.
Cool. From where I'm standing, I would then take a look around the rest of the warehouse area. And is it just my party in here now?
Arlo.
Hi.
As you are looking over, you watch as almost catching the group off guard, another man who looks like a dock worker is coming in with an oversized box in his arms. You can see his hands on the sides and below, but it's large enough that it's covering his forward vision, and so every once in a while you watch a head pop out around the sides, and it accidentally bumps into Yosef, and then moves around him. Looking back down the warehouse, the 2 men, the one with the club and the one that he was talking to, you don't see them.
As Yosef gets bumped into, he kind of like turns around and tries to like inch his way around the blind and stay in the blind spot of this box, but I think he fails to do so. And it's just kind of looking at him, suspecting trouble, but when none comes, he looks back around at the others.
So what's up next?
Moxon is going to try and stay quiet because he realizes he probably shouldn't be at the top of all of these boxes. So I would move a couple of boxes back and then get down prone as to try and give myself full cover. What is anybody else doing?
I'd like to follow the two, the club and the other guy.
Oh, you want to go after those two guys?
Just not like chasing them, but keeping an eye on them to see where they go.
All right. You watch as they go around the stack of crates, and in that far back corner from where you came in, there is a small 10 by 15 room that is lined with windows and a single door, and you watch as they both go into it.
It's lined with windows,
Mm-hmm.
so I can still see them after they go out the door
After they,
through the windows.
it's not out, it's in. It's like a foreman's office.
I see. Could I listen at the door after they enter?
Sure. What are the rest of you doing while he's listening?
Perception? Oh.
Sure.
Not 20.
Okay. What's your total?
Oh, 26.
Cool.
And Joseph would be working to distract any attention from noticing Moxon being where he probably shouldn't be.
Cool. Make a charisma roll then. While you're doing that, Gav, you hear two men talking. Hey, did you see that guy? Yeah, I saw that guy. Yeah. This could be bad, isn't it? Yeah, this is going to be bad. Especially if he finds the boss. He's not going to find the boss. He'll be stupid to go down there. Yeah, he'd be stupid. Hey, you want to grab lunch? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lunch sounds good. What did you bring today? And as you hear that, what did you bring today? You hear a door open on the inside, and the voices trail away, and then the door close.
Can I open the door and look around the room that they were in?
You can try to.
Is the door locked?
Roll perception. While you're rolling perception, Joseph, the guy with the crate has just set it down, and you realize that as he's coming up, he's going to totally catch Gav following these men. And hey, and you are able to absolutely do a fantastic job of getting his attention so that his first move with his head is not up, but over to you. How do you distract this man?
I think I'd act like I'm incredibly lost.
Okay.
And just look at him and say, thought I'd be able to navigate this place like the back of my hand, close to the coast, you know. I come from the islands. He looks around and says, but I've discovered that this place can be a little bit arcane if you haven't spent much time here. I'm incredibly lost.
Roll deception for me. While you're doing that, the door is locked, Lewis. There is a keyhole on this one.
I'd like to pick it.
Go for it. Thieves' tool, proficiency plus dexterity.
Awesome. Pulls out a pick from one pocket somewhere on his body, and then another tool from another. They're just scattered around. All right, what's my plus proficiency? That leaves me with 22.
Okay. Quickly click, and the door unlocks.
All right. Do I see anything notable in the room?
You see a chair with a desk, candle, windows that line the outside as well. That those windows look like they're on the outer edge of the wall, and a door in the opposite corner of this room that leads presumably outside.
Looking around the floor, do I see any trapdoors? Things that would go down.
None that you see.
All right. Is there any like desk? You said there's a
Yes.
foreman's office of some sort.
With a chair and candles on it.
Yes. Any notable papers on the desk?
Make a perception roll for me. No. Yeah, make a perception roll for me.
Oh, dropped that die. This one instead. All right, that is another 14.
Okay. You will see, like there is a hand-drawn picture that is posted right above the desk, obviously done by a child. You also find just papers cluttered all over this. Whoever is the foreman of this area is not the neatest of people. But you also find a schedule of ships to be coming in for the next couple of weeks, as well as from the past week.
All right, I'm going to leave and close the door behind me.
All right. About the time that you're coming back out, the man that was dealing, that Joseph was dealing with, is heading back out the building, and Moxon is taking a peek up after realizing I'm not supposed to be up here, and they're not supposed to be seeing me. Gerdan, what are you doing?
Gerdan's just been keeping an eye on Moxon. Just,
All right.
Trying to make sure he doesn't hurt himself.
I see this Banakil covered in furs just leaning up against a wall, looking up every once in a while.
Well, yeah.
Moxon, back to you then.
Is the room empty yet?
Finally, yes.
Yeah, as soon as he feels like there's nobody around, he would kind of take a squatted stance at the top of these boxes and say, hey, there's a door back here. That's where my money went. Everyone should come up here and go through that door.
I'll climb up.
Make an athletics check for me.
Do I get any bonus from having a climb speed at all before I roll?
Nope. It just makes it so that you are able to climb further.
How high are these crates?
20 total.
Okay. I will hand Gav a rope. One end of the rope. And I will hold the other.
I'll gladly take it.
Not much of a climber.
That is 16.
You are able to make it all the way up to the top.
Okay, I'll be using this rope as well then. That's awesome. I was like, Gav, hang on tight.
I just hand it to Moxon.
Make an athletic roll, guys. Joseph and Curtin.
Is there any sort of benefit to having a rope this time?
Nope.
Nope.
Well, not on your end. The DC changes.
I got an 11.
You are able to make it halfway up. Roll again.
I got 13 as well.
Natural 20.
Cool. You make it all the way, the rest of the way up, and you notice the hole. Joseph, you make it halfway up. Another one for me.
Nice. 21.
Perfect. You both make it all the way up to the top and notice the hole that is 20 feet down on the other side.
I'll just give Joseph or not Joseph, Moxon an affirmative slap on the back, nodding as I look at the hole.
Moxon, as soon as everybody's up, would is there a way down? Is there like a ladder that's a lean-to or something that's been placed here? Or is it just a 5-foot square drop?
It's a 5-foot square drop.
Okay. Is it only a door that's down there?
More like, no, that's a 5-foot square drop. Yeah, it's a door in the floor. And the door looks, from where you're standing, the door looks to be smaller than the space provided.
Does it open? Can I tell whether it opens up or down?
Perception roll at disadvantage.
8.
You cannot tell from up here.
Let's see. Moxon's not smart enough to figure that out, even though I am. Moxon kind of looks at the rest of them, and he kind of shrugs his shoulders, and he looks to the hole.
The sides of the crates on the side of the hole are built very similar to the side of the crate facing the outer area of the warehouse, or facing to the rest of the warehouse.
Let's see. Hold on a second. I might have something to help. All right. So I have a climbing.
Climber's tools?
No, I don't have climber's tools, but I did buy some pittons.
Yeah.
Pitons. Whatever.
Those are what you put into the rock to put your rope through.
Right. Right. So I would take it out and I would jam it into the top of one of these boxes.
Okay, make a strength check for me.
13.
Okay. You put it in there nice and strong.
Great. I reach for the rope and I tie a knot to it and I pull the rope all the way up and then drop it down the side leading to the door.
All right.
And I'm going to jump down.
You're just going to jump down, not with the rope?
Moxon's going to jump down. Yeah, he's in a hurry. And like I said, he probably hasn't figured out what I have figured out.
Okay. Do you have proficiency in acrobatics? Hell. Go ahead and make acrobatics roll.
I don't. I do have athletics.
Acrobatics.
4.
All right, you're going to take 10 damage from falling.
All right. Short rest, everyone? I'll rest in the hole.
How much gold did he lose?
That's a good question.
66, I think.
66 plus whatever I had before.
Oh. He's willing to kill himself over that.
I go down the hole with him.
It's his job, man.
The bulls are strange.
What did you say, Gav?
I'll go down the hole with him. Except I'm not going to jump. I'm going to use the rope that he threw down.
Roll an athletics check. Wait, what's your bonus to athletics?
2.
Total?
Yeah. I just have proficiency
Okay, cool.
in it. I have neutral strength.
Okay.
That is an 11.
You make it all the way down.
I'd like to alternatively jump from place to place if there are any footholds for me to do so. I'd like to make. Okay, so I can't make an acrobatic descent.
No.
Okay, so I'll do.
You can attempt to jump and not take all of it.
No, I will. I'll take the rope.
All right. Make 2 athletics checks.
All right. The first was a 16 and the second was an 11.
All right, you make it all the way down.
Nice. So do I see Moxon just like?
And you're all starting to squeeze in pretty tight now.
Cardon is just waiting at the top to see if they can open the door.
Is Moxon visibly hurting?
Are you bloodied? You muted.
When he landed, he probably would have fallen awkwardly. So my guess is, if you saw it anyway, he probably would have landed and then kind of crashed into one of the boxes or something like that. So you know that he did not land smoothly, but that's probably all.
Okay, knowing you're a tough guy, I'm gonna like scan you over with squinted eyes in this tight space, and otherwise, unless you say differently, I'm gonna assume you're okay.
You are
Sounds
all
good.
You are all squeezing into this area, into this 5x5 area, except for Cardin.
So part of this door is blocked by some of the boxes, right?
No, the
I
door
thought
is
that's-
smaller than the area.
Oh, I thought you said that the door was larger than the area.
The area is larger than the door.
Oh, I'd try and open it.
Okay. The door actually opens down. Looking in, you
Okay.
see a ladder. With the way the door opens this way, and the ladder is on this side.
I put my hand on Moxon's shoulder. I heard some of them mentioning that their boss is down. I think this is what they were talking about. They're worried about someone they saw. Might be one of us, might be someone else. If we go down there, we're probably in hot water. It's up
What's
to
your
you.
suggestion, Gab?
It's up to you. It's your gold on the line.
Well, I don't want to put anybody's life on the line just for the gold.
They've got a operation of pickpockets in this edge of the city. If you want to damage that somehow, we could go down. If you want to get whatever was in that bag back, because I doubt that you're going this far for 66 gold, Moxon.
66 gold. No, that's everything I have. There's over 100 gold in that thing.
All right, then.
But I won't say that gold is more important than anybody's life.
I said we'd be in hot water. I didn't say we'd die. I got your
Yeah,
back.
but we could. And he just kind of looks up to Cardin and says, "You're not real interested in this, are you?"
Yeah, I'll be looking up too. When you say that, my head will crane up.
You are muted, Jeremy.
My bad. I was talking the whole time. Oh. It's not that I'm not interested. It's that I'm not interested in. I wasn't interested in being squished down there with the three of you.
There's a door now.
Says that's fair.
Right.
Um,
Let's go.
so Moxon kind of looks around and says, "Are you guys? I mean, we can put this to a vote. We don't have to go down."
We're going. We're just waiting for you to walk, Moxon. You're the biggest one.
And he says, "Okay." And so he would stick his feet down and secure them on the ladder, and then start climbing down.
Cool. As you climb down, your feet hit the bottom. It is complete darkness down here, and the smell begins to mix with that, and a lot more of a lot more similar smells that were attached to the smell of ears and rats. But it is pitch black down here, and the only light that you get is that coming from the hole above you.
Okay. As soon as I'm at the bottom, I would wiggle the ladder to let them know that I'm off the ladder. And I will hold the ladder steady so that anybody else can come down easily.
With Moxon holding the ladder, the rest of you are going to be able to come down easily without any issue. You won't make it to the bottom, and it is pitch black.
Do I have dark vision?
No, you're a halfling.
Okay. I don't remember if they had it or not. I didn't think they did.
I'll say, hey, Gav, mind if I light a torch?
Yeah. I'd love it if you lit a torch. Don't you have magic at this point?
Not
I
any.
feel like
None of you
actually-
have dark vision, do you?
No.
nope. You should really look into that, Yosef.
Ears.
As the torch lights up.
I'm no
As the
wizard.
torch lights up, you can see, for the extent of the 20 feet of bright light it makes and the 20 feet of dim light, that this is a hallway, a well-carved hallway. Looks old, but with lots of use. Stone walls, border. There are wood supports every 10 or so feet, continuing to hold up a stone ceiling, all hewn, but is only 5 feet wide. And the hallway continues on further than the light will allow you to see.
And there'll be kind of some whisper banter between Gav and Yosef. And Yosef's just like, I ain't no wizard. I can't just do anything, you know. I give what the sea god gives me. That's it. And for all that is, I have no idea. Okay, I just work with what I got. Stop expecting to be some kind of sorcerer or something.
You're the most magical person I know.
Well, that's a beautiful statement. But we're gonna have to use a torch.
People are so
As long as
loud.
you're holding it.
Yeah,
I can't use my stuff with only one hand. I need you to hold the torch.
yeah, he's waving it forward. And he says, "Come on, come on."
I'll pull my crossbow off my back, get it ready in case things go bad.
What is your marching order?
I think I'd ask Cardan, where do you prefer to be if things go south?
In the shadows.
All right, yeah, but far in the shadows or close in the shadows or like middling range?
Well, from the sound of things, you would prefer to walk around with chains rattling.
What?
You're all very loud.
The Yosef would kind of skirt to the back, knowing that he's only half armed. He's basically got the torch as a bludgeoning weapon, and he puts his shield over his back, and his AC drops to 16.
Moxon would be in the front, but I would be using the sense of smell to try and lead me, since the torch is in the back. I imagine that's at least 20 feet away, so I'm not going to be able to use that very well.
Well, within the next 20 feet after the bright light is dim light.
Okay.
So you'll have your vision at disadvantage from there, and you won't be able to see past that.
Okay.
Where are the other two guys?
Cardan is going to go towards the back. If Yosef is all the way in the back, then he will be back there.
No, I let you go further back
Okay.
into the shadow of the flame.
And
We're
I
all in the
rolled,
back.
I rolled a stealth check. I got a nat 20 for a total of 25.
Okay. Well, with that said, I like with Lewis's statement. I guess more accurately, I'd be in the middle. I'd be casting light, but I wouldn't be out front and center. Is all I'm saying.
Where are you, Gav?
In the back.
Kurdan said he was gonna. That Yosef said he was gonna let Kurdan go behind him.
All right.
So are you?
Gav will be bringing up the caboose if possible.
Kurdan, is that gonna be possible for him?
Sure, if he knows where I'm at. I'm well hidden. Stealthy.
Unfortunately, you're using the person in front of you to hide, and there's nobody behind you to help you hide from him.
Just
That's okay.
tiny man.
I'm
So,
Tiny man.
I'll poke
Moxon,
him in the eye if he looks at me funny.
Moxon, you have actually 15 feet of bright light and 20 feet of dim.
Okay.
So
Then I would start moving forward.
All right, and you all, you travel for a little while, not really gaining, like a couple of minutes, until finally you come to an intersection where to your right you hear the sound of water. To the left, you hear nothing, and ahead of you you hear nothing.
Jim, do you think that if I'm to bring it forward again, if like Yosef gets kind of an idea and he wonders if he could wedge the torch in between his forearm and the shield if he keeps his shield strapped?
Yes, but you figure that it would be that by doing that, you will you'll only be able to get 1 point of your shield bonus.
Okay. So yeah, you'll see him like anyone paying attention to him will see a a eureka moment where he changes his mind and starts to shove his things together. Pineapple, apple.
It's a pineapple pen.
Yeah, sorry, pineapple pen.
You get to go back to second level. Good job. All right.
Yeah. So AC 1. So his AC will be 17 already in chat.
At any point, you can drop that torch, risking it going out to gain. Well, at any point, meaning a free action during your turn.
Okay.
All right. So you've come to that intersection. To your right is the sound of water. To the left and ahead of you is nothing. You cannot see anything, nor can you hear anything. Following the smell, Moxon, you smell that the smell of rats is stronger in this area, but the scent that you are following leads forward.
The rat smell leads forward, or just there is a greater rat smell in the area while following the scent?
There is a greater rat smell having come further down this tunnel.
Okay. Moxon would not even bring that up, feeling like that's irrelevant.
Okay.
And then I would continue walking.
Continue walking. As you continue forward, you can see as you go along, you travel for about, so you've got 20, 35 feet. You travel for about 25 feet, and you see that at the end of the light, the darkness seems to open up ahead of you.
I continue.
All right. Once it gets to the bright light, you can see that the darkness ahead of you that opens up, and it looks as though the hallway continues down and makes a turn to the left, but the turn to the left is made much sooner than the width of the hallway on the left side.
Moxon would be following the scent unless somebody else urged him to do otherwise.
All right. Moxon, make a perception roll for me.
Based on smell?
Yep.
Uh, 18.
That's the smell that you've been following, and that's kind of melded into what you've been tracking, is very strong right now. And you're about 10 feet away from the room.
I gotcha. At this point, Moxon would stop. So this hallway has widened, so we're not walking single file anymore, or is it still tight?
Still tight.
Gotcha. He would just kind of breathe deeply, and he'd turn around with Yosef right there, and he would point at his eyes, and he would point down the hallway, flawlessly doing the gesture correctly.
Awesome. I'll nod, and I'll look back towards Gav, and then I'll carry on the gesture. And inch forward.
You inch forward?
Like just behind Moxon, not too far ahead.
Oh, you're already behind Moxon.
No, I know, but I mean, like I like come adjacent to him, basically, if there's room.
You're squeezing into the same space then.
Like torch over his shoulder type thing.
Okay, looking over his shoulder with the light, you guys can see that the hallway opens up into a room to the left, but you cannot see the rest of the room.
He says, wisps in a low tone. Go ahead, big guy. You got this.
So very slowly and very meticulously, he takes the maul off of his back, and he puts two hands on it. Again, moving so slowly, attempting to try and be quiet.
Okay.
And how far away is you said 10 feet to the doorway?
Yep.
I am going to charge around the corner, and what do I see?
Okay, as you charge around the corner, coming on full speed, you turn around that corner, and 10 feet around the corner is a man with a crossbow that pulls the trigger. And you all are able to see in the light as a bolt goes flying right past Moxon's head and it hits the wall and just completely shatters. Roll initiative.
I don't get to do the rest of that. Okay. I feel like that would have been my turn at a surprise round as well, huh? No?
High or low?
High. Was that a 4 or an 18?
An 18.
All right. What does that mean? Does that mean yes? All right. Well, then I'm going to finish my movement right on top of this dude. Can I tell in passing that this is the guy?
You did not see the guy's face.
I'm smelling.
Oh,
you said it had gotten stronger.
Smelling, you can smell it on this person.
Then I will move up on this guy, and I'm not going to hit him with my maul. I am going to tusk this dude.
Okay.
I'm going to make my natural attack.
Do you have to move in a straight line for that?
All I have to do is move. Oh, yeah, I do. Damn. Why did I copy and paste so well?
You do smell, however, that there are other smells in the room, and in this room, it's literally a 10 by 10 that's like this. No, it's like this. Yeah, you come in here, he's right here, and right here is the other hallway, and you can see there's another man there.
Okay, so since I only took 10 feet of movement to get into the room, can I take a wide berth and give myself my 15 straight feet?
If from right in here,
Yeah.
you'd be able to make it. Like literally, you have the room to scoot back and then get your charge on.
Okay, well that's what I am going to do. Let's see, that's proficiency in strength, isn't it? Does a 15 hit?
A 15 will hit.
Hey, all right. That will do 5 damage, and he needs to make a save or be knocked prone. And that save is 13
You
strength.
got a 17 on the die.
Cool.
And how much damage did you say?
5.
5?
5 piercing.
All right.
Now, did I charge the guy at the doorway or
The guy
one
in the hallway.
that shot the... Okay. Cool.
All right. Oh, come on. They are up. The guy in the hallway that you just charged, Moxon, is going to... he has 2 large clubs in his hands, and he's going to begin to swing at you. The first attack is only a 7. The second attack is a 17. That gets you, right?
Yes, it does.
All right. Lucky for you, it's his offhand attack, and that's only going to take a whole whopping 2 bludgeoning damage. As the first one swings and misses, the next one comes around and knocks you square in the body. The other one, seeing you, is going to load up and will go ahead and take disadvantage on his attack roll and fire at you. And has a whole whopping 9, so he will miss as well. Kodam.
So the only person they've seen is Moxon, right?
Correct.
All right. And this is like around a corner, or how's this working?
It is around the corner.
All right.
What they do, what they are aware of, is that the light is still down that hallway.
Who had the light?
Yosef.
Yosef. All right. All right. So let's see. So is the light going into the corner?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Would I be able to just grab, like, use, no, minor illusion won't do that. Prestidigitation. Prestidigitation would put out a torch, right?
Yes.
All right. Then I am going to cast Prestidigitation, put the torch out, and just basically jump into the corner and basically just shout into the room. And let's see. I'm going to roll to see how well he does this, because he is going to impersonate a non-Bonic eel. All right. So this is just a personal deception. All right. So he can do this okay. Lay down your weapons. We have more men coming.
Lay down your weapons. What?
We have more coming.
Did you make your deception roll?
I'll make a deception roll for them, too. Ooh, nice. 21. No, 20. My bad.
I have a 20 on the dice as well. You
Reroll?
hear from the...
Nope.
You hear from the guy in the corner with the crossbow. There's more of them back there. He's lying. Kill him quick. Gav.
So I'm blind as a bat now, right?
Yep.
The dim light from the room should give him a little bit of vision, right?
No, there's no more light. The light that you guys had was the light.
Oh, so these guys, are these guys human? I would have seen them face to face.
They're human.
And as the light went out, I just go, "What the heck?" As I see it snuffed, and then hear the Bonakill's voice.
Both two characters who are blind, it balances out, right? Because you have advantage to attack a blinded creature, but as a blinded creature, you have disadvantage to attack.
Right, but since you're blinded, you don't know. You cannot guarantee you know where the target is. So it's not just, oh, we're both swinging in the blind and knowing where each other is. There's a chance that you don't even attack the right place.
All right. Can I hold my action until I can see something and then shoot an enemy?
You can ready your action to do that.
Yeah, that. Ready my action to shoot the first enemy I can see.
All right. Yosef.
Yosef will be cursing the more foul gods, not his god, but the more foul gods of the Ark Islands, and relight the torch.
How are you relighting the torch?
With I imagine it still has the capacity to be lit. It wasn't doused in water.
Right, but if you're using flint and steel, you're going to have to use it to get it out and then use your action to light it.
I'll scuttle to the back, so it'll give them approximately five feet less light into the room.
Okay.
As I put my shield in front and lean down behind my shield, just like with it like sticking out of the ground, even if that's at all possible.
You can make a strength check, but that's going to take your action to slam your shield down to the ground and then do everything else too.
Okay.
So you wouldn't be able to light it and do the shield and get your stuff.
Okay. Well, I will just drop the shield in because I'm gonna have to.
Okay.
So I'll pull the torch out and I'll say some expletives under my breath in Goblin, and I'll light the torch.
All right. The light comes back up.
There it is.
Gav, you ready to action
20 to
goes
hit?
off? Say what?
20 to hit.
20 will hit.
And that is...
Hold on.
Oh,
you see, when the light comes back up, you see two of them. One of them is in the hallway that Moxon's fighting, and there's one in the corner firing a crossbow at Moxon.
All right, the one that was slamming on Moxon with the maces I'd like to shoot.
Okay, what was your total again?
13 damage.
No, what was your total to hit? Because he's going to have a 3/4 cover from the corner of the wall and from Moxon.
20 to hit.
Right on it.
All right, 13 damage.
All right. He is still up. From behind, Yosef, you begin to hear the sounds of squeaks and the tapping of many, many little claws coming up from behind you. Moxon, it's your turn.
So I can see this guy again in front of me, huh?
Yep.
What I'm going to do, so now am I another 10 feet away from the
No, both guys are
guy?
right beside you.
Oh, they're
One's
right
in front
beside
of
me?
you. One's in front of you. One's to your left.
Okay. I am going to strike at the gentleman with the clubs.
All right.
Oh, huzzah. Champion fighters for the win. That is a critical hit.
Go for it. Good hit.
All right, I need to get me another D6. All right. Let's see, I can re-roll that bitch. That's what I like. All right, so that is going to, on a crit, you do max and then roll and then add your
When I run,
modifier, right?
yeah.
Okay. So that means I'm going to do 25
Tell me how you kill
maul
him.
damage with my maul. I just bring it straight. Basically, it goes dark for a second, and as soon as the light comes back up, the crimson eyes of Moxon are already kind of mid-swing, and he adjusts very Barry Bonds-like and just cleans this dude right across the face. At which point, I would then turn and I would just look at the guy with the bow. I will. Let's see, I guess I'll go ahead and bonus action my second wind. Okie dokie.
All right. The one with the crossbow is going to disengage and is going to attempt to, let's see.
He's not going to be able to move past me, right?
He's going to try to force his way through there. Make an athletics check.
That's a 24.
All right. All the space within all of the squares within 5 feet of you, and including you, will become difficult terrain. He tries to force his way through. There's a big jostle as you're pushing him up against the wall, trying to grab at him, and he's pushing you away to move away. And you watch him as he goes into the hall and out of the light. Curtin.
Shit. He's out of the light, so I can't see. Alright. So he's in complete darkness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Well, that sucks. Creden's just gonna go into the room.
Okay. You see Moxon a bit miffed, and you see Gav probably loading his crossbow.
Great, now we have a body count.
Gav, you're up. Oh, sorry.
You all have fucked up. That's it.
Gav.
I'll run over to where Moxon is.
All right. You are not able to see any further than this man has already gone. He is in the darkness further down this hallway.
I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna use my bonus action to hide behind one of the wall. Is it like a room and then there's a hallway? So is there like lip where I can hide on the wall that isn't the hallway?
Yes, you would be able to hide in the room beside where the hallway goes down past you.
All right, I'd like to make a hide action. And that is, I believe that's a +5 on stealth. Yep, that is a 23 stealth check.
Okay.
I'll just gesture Yosef over.
All right. Yosef, you are still hearing these sounds of squeaks and the tap of a bunch of claws.
But I can't see anything if I'm looking over my shoulder.
When you look over your shoulder, you can see at about halfway through the dim light portion of the torch, there seems to be a very large swarm of rats coming up behind you.
Okay, is it going to take an action for me to reconnect that torch to my shield?
No, I'll treat it like drawing a weapon. You just stick it in there and you're ready. So that'll be your interaction.
That'll be my interaction. I still have my move in action, so
yep.
I will. I'll like move backwards with my back to my party, inching the light further in their direction. But it's a walk; it's not a run. As I have my shield out front, and I am readying.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
I am readying a spell.
For what purpose?
So basically, if this swarm gets any closer to my torch, which I suspect it might, I'm ready to fire off a spell.
All right. Well, then it immediately continues to move forward toward you. Use your spell.
All right. I'm going to use Thunderwave.
Thunderwave is only 15 foot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they don't start moving.
I wouldn't activate it unless they were close enough to activate it. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Yeah. You just didn't word it like that. So they move, and when they get within 15 feet of you, you're able to do it.
Okay. So yeah, you'll just see while the torchlight was originally casting kind of a red amber light, you'll see the front of the shield, the symbol of Leviathan start to crackle with like electricity and then glow bright, and then there's a boom as dust and debris kind of go flying. Maybe even like a little bit of dirt falls from a crack in the ceiling as this wave of thunderous energy is pushed out, and they'll have to make a Constitution saving throw.
DC what?
The DC is 12, I believe.
All right, they make it.
Okay, so yeah, can we narrate that it like affects them, but the magic is weak? So basically, it's just like it slaps into them, but this is a swarm, and a lot more menacing. So you'll see some of them get knocked off, but then like the core of the swarm like coalesces and like drives further forward, and then my eyes snap wide.
And they will come all the way up, and they will occupy the square that you are in.
Okay.
Moxon.
That deals damage.
What?
That spell deals damage even if they pass.
Oh, okay. Okay. Whoops, my bad. Yeah, on a failed save, a creature takes 2/8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away from you. On the successful save, the creature takes half damage and isn't pushed. Okay, so half damage would be 5.
All right.
Which makes sense, as a couple of the rats flew off the mass and it just coalesced into this bigger beast that surrounded Yosef. And he is in all too familiar territory as he braces himself for the horde.
And they come up and take up your entire space with you. Moxon.
So I can't see, huh?
You can, because he's backed up into the room.
Can I see this guy who's trying to run
Oh,
away
the guy
from
that
me?
ran away from you?
Yeah.
No.
So I have a natural attack. Could I just run into the darkness until I hit something and then essentially use my attack to roll an attack against it?
You can try.
Okay, well then I will start moving down the hallway.
Okay.
You know what I'm trying to do, so you let me know when something happens.
All right. Nothing happens after your first 30 feet.
Is the smell of ears, did I pass the smell? Because that seems like that's not something that I would do.
No.
If I smelled
you
it. Okay, am I following the guy who had the smell?
You are following the smell, yes.
All right, well, my turn is over.
Can you not dash and gore as a bonus? Bonus?
Nope, it's an action.
Oh, okay. From nearby, you are hearing the sound of slapping feet. Boxen. Kurdan.
My bad. So this swarm of rats is in the middle of the room. All right. Well, I guess it's time to pull the rapier out of from amongst the furs and take a stab.
Stab away.
Ooh, never mind. That's a 9. So,
Yeah, a 9 will miss.
okay. I was like, a 9 will? Oh, nice.
Gav.
Frozen?
Gav is gone for now, so we'll go to Yosef and throw Gav in whenever he shows back up.
Cool. So have I been attacked?
No, you have not been attacked.
Okay. So I'm gonna do a rinse and repeat. So I say I just whisper in a low tone in some old Avos that I picked up on the island, and just say, "Come on, Leviathan, you brought me back for a reason. Show me that reason." And he slams his shield down again and casts it once more.
You can't use the spell on yourself. You are not included in the casting area of Thunderwave.
So they're only in my square, is what you're saying?
They are only in your square.
Can I move out of it and take an attack of opportunity?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that and then repeat my action because I liked what.
Okay. When you step out, the rats go after you in a bad way. All right. So because you've got the light, right?
Yeah, 17 AC.
I've got a 17 and a 16, so only one is going to hit you. And you will take 5 piercing damage as they begin to gnaw at you.
Okay, so right as it, like, I imagine like one just bites on my leg, and right at that moment, slam the shield down and cast Thunderwave again.
Okay.
And
on their save, I've got a 16 and a 19.
good lord. All right, so I'll roll for damage again. So they take half of it. So that is 4 damage this time. To everybody.
All right. Gav.
The rat swarm's still trying to murder Yosef, right?
Correct.
All right. Gav is going to put his crossbow on his shoulder, reach into one of his many pouches, and pull out a small glass vial and just throw it at the ground that the rat swarm is in. The idea being that a crossbow bolt might hit Yosef, but if I splash acid on the ground, it's less likely to murder him. This is going to be a improvised weapon attack, ranged, with an acid vial. It's going to be 15 to hit.
15 will hit.
Awesome. And that's going to deal 7 acid damage.
How much?
7.
All right.
Unless it adds my dexterity modifier.
Nope, it's just the acid.
All right, 7 acid damage.
All right. The rats, covered in acid now, will move back into Yosef's space. And they will begin to hoard up on him and bite at him. One is going to miss, but the other is a 23, so you're going to take another 6 piercing damage.
All right, and like Yosef's gritting his teeth through pain once again, and he's not there's no quitting him. He's gonna disengage is an action.
No, it's Moxon.
Oh, Moxon.
What's going? You saying it's my turn? Okay. Moxon would kind of shrug his shoulders in the dark and turn around and walk 30 feet back to the position he was at.
After that 30 feet, you can see that at an angle to you, from that position you were in, you could actually reach the rats.
If I move again?
No, because you only moved 30 feet that last round, right?
Right. And then I had to move 30 feet to get back. So how am I going to move more?
Because the room is only a 10 by 10.
Right, but I used all of my movement to get right back to where I was last turn. So I wouldn't be able to move further unless I used my action to do so.
I don't think I understand what you're saying then.
So last turn, I spent 30 feet of movement chasing after the guy that I didn't catch.
Yeah.
This turn, I'm using 30 feet of movement to get back to where I was the previous turn.
Yeah, back in the room.
Right. I don't have any more movement.
Right.
So I can't
that puts
move to anything.
So that puts you in the upper left quadrant of this 10 by 10 room. With now the rats being in the upper right quadrant of this 10 by 10 room with Yosef.
They're right
Have
where
I
you can
moved?
smack them.
You've still got
If
your
they're
action.
Right, if they're 10 feet away from me, I can't hit them.
No. When you were fighting, you were in that guy. You were in the tent. You were in the room, not in the hallway. The guy was in the hallway.
Okay. 11.
That hits. Was that your goal or just a club attack?
Just a club attack.
Okay.
God damn it. 6 damage.
All right. Kurdan.
Rats are still alive, right?
Yep.
All right. Let's trying to stab some rats. Oh, lucky. So I get to re-roll that. That still sucked. 11 to hit.
It hits.
Oh. Oh. Oh my gosh. I was taken off guard with my rapier. All right.
Can you
That's
sneak
gonna
attack a rat swarm?
be Jim. I mean, there's a lot of
Yes.
rats there. Oh. What was
It doesn't
that?
say they're immune to sneak attack.
Awesome.
All right. Oh, one dice, right? Oh, I'm at 2d6. Nice. All right. Ah, good deal. All right. 8 damage from the rapier, and then 11 points of sneak attack damage.
You watch as that one hurts. Hurts them very much.
Just shish kebab some rats.
Gav.
I'm going to shoot the rats.
You're within melee if that makes a difference.
I'm going to pull out a short sword and stab the rats, still with my crossbow just resting on my shoulder. All right, that is 18 to hit.
It'll hit.
And 13 damage.
All right, they're still up and going. Yosef, you have all of your buddies around you trying to help you kill it. There's nowhere for you to move.
Yeah, I realize that now. As I as my shield sort of sizzles. And how are the rats looking?
Fine.
Okay, it's just a swarm. It doesn't look like it's like losing any headway.
I mean, there's dead rats all in the swarm, and they just continue to crawl over them up your legs.
And I'll just say, this is my luck. And I'm going to bonus action second wind, first and foremost. So that'll be waiting for a dice roller to respond. Okay, 7 hit points regained. So yeah, you'll just see some of his wounds start to do that familiar kind of like they shimmer a little bit, and before the skin starts to stitch itself together, but they're still open wounds. They're still not fully closed. As he's gonna draw his hook saber.
Is what?
It's essentially a rapier. Oh,
Okay.
sorry, a scimitar. And it's just a scimitar from the hook
Okay.
region.
The rats will continue to attack you.
Okay. Well, am I able to attack with that? Because I haven't used my attack action.
Sure.
Yeah. Cool. And that is a 14 plus many to hit. So that's a 14 on the die, so plus 5, so 19 to hit.
You'll hit. 2 damage.
Awesome. Nice. So that is 10 damage. 5 plus 5. Or sorry, no, that doesn't make sense. It would be your damage is just your ability roll, right? So it would be 5 plus 3. So
All right.
8. As I slash things like over and over again, just like sweat beating down my face as I see my allies come around me, I'm kind of getting resolve.
You're still holding the light?
Still holding the light.
All right.
They need
The rats will continue to attack you, and they'll both hit. One bite does 11 points of piercing damage. The other does 6 points of piercing damage. Moxon.
Moxon, I guess, is going to take another swing. Actually, yeah, no, screw it. 23?
Totally. Is that a crit?
No.
Okay.
And then I will do. Let's see, is that 8 damage?
All right.
Is it dead yet?
No, but you feel like, as you see this, you can tell that about half the rats are dead.
Okay. So I'm going to action surge. Moxon's pissed. Lost all his money. 21 to hit.
Yep.
Nice. That was 15 more damage then.
Nice.
And then I would. Is everybody standing next to this thing, poking it with something?
Yep.
Okay. I would probably move away.
Okay. They're going to try to attack you.
Sure.
Yeah, the swarm will take a bite at you. And that's a whole whopping 14.
Okay.
That'll miss. Cardan.
All right. Time for another stab at some rats. 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right. And my getting sneak attack here still.
Yep.
All right. Well, it sucked. So, 9 piercing damage. And do I reroll ones on lucky on sneak attack damage? Or
Not for damage.
Okay. All right. 2 points of sneak attack damage.
All right. This thing looks like it's about to be standing on its last leg. You guys are really close. Coming up to Gav.
I stab it. 21 to hit, 13 damage.
All right. It is on its last leg. Yosef, death save.
Is dead. Also muted.
It's so hard to see it with the white background or the cream background. I'll get death save in a moment then. The rats move into Cardan's area. And that's an 18 to hit you.
That hits.
You take 14 piercing damage.
Oh.
I'm lying. 4.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, God, no. Moxon.
These things aren't dead yet. Come on now. Moxon's disappointed with the rest of the party. I will step up and try and kill it again. Does a 21 hit?
Yes.
How about 13 more damage?
How do you squish these rats?
He walks up, once again, visually upset. At this point, you might not know whether it's because he lost his money or because you guys need so much help. But he just picks the last one off of poor Yosef's body and just wrings its neck, throws it off to the side, and then sits there and says, "Let's get him up. I think I got to go to work."
Run over and perform first aid on Yosef.
Did you kill the other one?
Nope. He is ghostly fast.
This was not the good way to do it.
16.
He's
Yeah,
stable.
at this point, I agree. Seems like this is just a shitty part of town. Is this where you're from?
What do you mean? Is this where I'm from?
Is this the area of town or the world that you're from, friend?
Of the world? Of course.
Perfect.
I'm not from this part of town, but the south part of the world, that is where I live.
Well, great. So this dock job that you've got for us, what's the pay look like?
Jim?
Nothing about pay was ever mentioned by Gugrush. From your conversations with Gugrush, you gather that he's talking to you about the situation with things being stolen, things coming up missing, and would just like somebody to figure out what was going on.
I'm afraid none of this was part of the deal. You've killed that man there. That's going to result in retaliation unless
Things going missing?
things going missing. No. What are you talking about?
The things going missing.
Yes, and then we came in here, and your friend decided to kill him, which is going to result in their management, as you say, deciding that they are going to get retaliation for the killings.
What's your suggestion? Should I leave town?
That's what I would do. Or else you could kill every single one of them.
Are you familiar with these guys?
Well, I don't recognize him, but he is no one. I don't know who their leader is. I'm more on the other side of town.
Yosef dreams of not dying.
I'd like to look over the corpse.
Okay.
Anything useful on him?
Bolts. There's
3 bolts.
6.
Awesome.
And on him, you find let's see. On him, you find a single gold as well.
I give it to Moxon.
Did none of us actually buy potions in our week off?
No.
I didn't even think it was an option.
Okay. Would it have been an option, Jeremy?
Oh, yeah. You could have bought anything that's just fairly normal within town. I mean, you weren't just limited
Right.
to a couple things.
All I need to do is breathe, and I can start to heal myself.
has. Let's see, real quick, Lewis. When you said you looked over the guy's body, did you mean you looked over? Did you look over? Sorry, did you look over the? No, you said you looked over the guy that you killed, right?
That's
Okay.
the only
Oh,
guy here.
I muted. Yeah, the corpse.
Okay. With your passive perception, you can see there is slip having rolled out, barely sticking out from under, barely sticking out from under Yosef's body is a small red vial with a tag on it that says "Good luck, E."
I take it, I kiss it, and I pour it down Yosef's throat. Healing potion?
Yes.
All right, that's awesome. I think that is +2, right? 2d4 +2?
I thought Jeremy just maxed him out.
Yeah.
Even better, 10 hit points. Those get hit points back.
He his eyes snap open, and then he takes a deep breath and like pukes a little bit, and then he like rolls over so that the puke is not on himself and on his cloak. And he looks around at all the dead rats, and he takes a deep breath, and he starts to an ominous feeling sets in. It's like he just he can't believe he's in this situation again, and he pulls himself up from this muck of rats and his own blood, and he looks at the others and he sighs. And normally in this situation he would say thank you, but he just kind of like rests on his knees as this is one too many times. And I'm going to use Cure Wounds on myself to cover the difference on my last spell slot. And that'll be 6 more hit points. So I am almost back to full. And you'll see him kind of start to come together. Is there like a injury table in 5th edition?
There it is.
Yeah.
Let's use it.
Oh no.
Probably don't want it.
I've been down 3 times near death. If there was ever an
Yosef is about to lose an arm is what's about to happen.
Jeremy, do you want to use it?
If he wants to use it, he can.
If it's up to you guys. If you guys don't think it's appropriate, then that's fine.
It's up to you. It's your character.
That's true. He does fall a lot. I mean, okay. Let's just say, for the sake of it, that parts of his wounds like heal over as they normally do with Cure Wounds, but they do not heal like they used to. They leave horrifying scars. There's some damage that can't be undone, and this is reflected. And I'm gonna say that like there's some scars on his face and that sort of thing. His youthful disposition is taken down a notch, and maybe that might set back any attempts to charm just with his like looks and bravado alone. But other than that, no change to mechanics. We won't roll on that table yet. I'll tell you what, though. 4th time's the charm. We will roll on it next time.
I'll tell you, what I did roll was that you had a limp,
Okay.
and it says magical healing removes the limp, so you got rid of it yourself.
Perfect. Okay. So yeah, he'll
Is
stand to
Joseph
his
still
feet.
kneeling?
No, I was just gonna say he stands to his feet now. Whoever's in front of him, he would just look them in the eye.
So what is your guys' plan?
Javelin that he dropped.
I mean, considering we have no way to make anybody feel better if they're hurt, I mean, for the most part, a lot of our resources are tapped. So, Moxon is defeated and does not care about the money now.
Even still, Yosef will lean in, laugh that the torch that he had been protecting all this time is still very well lit and has not lost a lick of flame since being reignited. And he'll walk over to Moxon and just like put a hand on his arm and just say, I am sorry about your gold, friend.
And Moxon leans in real close and looks at you, and he's got a real serious look on his face. And he says, do you think you should really be out here?
He looks you back with just as much gravity and weight. And simply says, I don't know. I suppose that's for you to decide.
Moxon just continues to kind of keep eye contact and just nodding his head. And then when you're done talking, he just kind of stands up and walks away. And he says, we better get out of here before anybody else. Like I said, that money's not worth anyone's life.
The gold isn't important, but you have made enemies. I hate to tell you this, friend, but you stand out considerably.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, coming here might have been a mistake for me. Nothing good has happened since I got here. And that's what I've been running from this whole time. So, I agree. I've made enemies. I stand out. You guys don't.
Yosef will just look at you and say, I don't know, friend. Maybe you stand out like a tree, a tree that we have been rooted to and dependent on every curve of this road. You have a place in this crew. Maybe mine is lost, but you've been the roots. That maul, that disposition, and he like puts a hammer on your chest, and it's a weak, like fist to chest, like it's your like 90-year-old grandma doing it, and he just says, that is not the Moxon that I look up to. That is not the strong one. Drawing attention, let them look. Your ears is man, and you're a solid one to me. Sorry, you're a solid Bill's fine. And you can't You can't forget that.
Moxon just kind of is looking at the wall with a very far off look in his eyes.
I'll just like kind of cock an eyebrow, wondering how much got through to him. And
Moxon, what else was in that pouch? Was it just gold?
Yeah, it's just gold.
All right.
And with that, our group makes their way back the way that they came in, up the ladder, climbs up the crates, and sneaks back down, and make their way to separate and lick their wounds.
all right.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jim.
That's a pretty beat up game.
Yeah.
So enjoyed this Orina Saga game for Jeremy. Jeremy, we still planning on playing next week, or are we going to go 2 weeks then?
Is everybody here all right with next Sunday? It'd be afternoon since, what is it, No Mercy next weekend?
Right.
I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that's okay.
All right.
All right.
All right, cool. So, next Sunday.
All right, and we'll see you all there.
All right.